Hi, I'm Judy Shaw on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange along with Matt Kobach. And joining us today is Tom Woodger. Tom is the Vice President of Brand over at StockX. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start off by telling us about StockX. What is StockX?
Sure. So StockX, in short, is the stock market of things. We were started in February 2017 in Detroit, founded by our current CEO, Josh Luber, Greg Schwartz, who's our COO, and Dan Gilbert, who is the owner of Quicken Loans, Cleveland Cavaliers, and so on and so forth. And we're currently the biggest resale platform and online marketplace for sneakers and streetwear, but we carry handbags and watches as well. And the idea is that people can buy or sell their kind of sneakers, streetwear, handbags, watches as commodities, and it takes the stock market model and applies it to these items or these commodities. And so if you bought a pair of very high value sneakers or you've been given them by a friend, you could sell them on StockX and the market actually dictates the price. So the idea is that we're trying to take away the unfairness traditionally of the reselling market where people hike up prices just to make a huge amount of money and there's no visibility into the actual real price and the real worth of these products. And so we've been going since February 2016, and so nearly 3 years old. And we have an incredibly exciting IPO that started yesterday. I'm great excited to talk about.
Well, let's jump right into it. Explain to me how an IPO on StockX works, because I think it's a little different than an IPO here. Is that fair to say?
Just so.
Just a smidge.
Okay.
So we're currently working with this gentleman called Ben Baller, who's a great friend of the brand, a great friend of our CEO. He's a jewelry designer, clothing designer, footwear designer, and he designed for us these incredible slides, 800 pairs in total, some red, some black. And the idea is that they're coming to market exclusively on StockX. And we're using a blind Dutch auction model because it means that the market actually dictates the price. So taking away the model of traditional retail, which is where the retailer or the brand sets the price and then you just have to suck it up and pay it. This model, which StockX are applying for the first time ever with a product like this, is that it's a blind Dutch auction. So you anonymously bid on the product. You say, this is the amount that I'm willing to pay that's the most. Everybody does the same thing collectively, and then at midnight tomorrow night, all of the bids will close, and then you will then pick the top number of bids based on the number of products that are actually available, and then the one that's at the lowest, so if there's 50 slides available in a certain color and size, you take the top 50, the 50th bid is then the clearing price, and then everybody gets that item for that clearing price. And the great thing about that is the fact that 49 of those people will have bid more than that. The 50th person is paying the price that they bid at, so everybody else is getting it for a lower price.
So if Judy really wanted him, and she's bidding $1,000 on him,
Yep.
and I want him too, but I don't make as much money as Judy, and I bid $200 on him, and that is the 50th highest price, and there's 50 available, and we wear the same size in this scenario
Yes.
too.
Yep.
We want the same color.
Yep.
So she doesn't pay $1,000; she pays the 200.
Yep.
Is that right? Okay.
And so do you.
Yeah,
And I
so
paid
do
the
you.
and I paid the
And
200
so do
as
you.
well.
So
you
you're
look
not
out.
out and she gets the
So
bargain.
yeah, so you save $800
Yep.
essentially. I saved nothing, but I was a little cheaper at the get-go
Right.
with doing it.
That's
Okay.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And then and I never can see what Judy bids.
No.
That's okay. So
No.
I just have to say like this is what I think. This is what I want to pay, and irrelevant to what anyone else is going to
Exactly.
pay.
So
and
there's
hope for
no
the best.
market manipulation.
Yeah.
Nothing is happening behind the scenes. It's literally the market is deciding, which truly democratizes the way that you bring products to market, which is why we think it's so exciting and why personally we think it's going to be the future of a lot of e-commerce, but particularly the way that we go on to launch products.
So is that just for product launches, or let's say I have one pair of a real exclusive pair of shoes? Is there a different model for that for StockX?
There's lots of different models that we use. I think the idea of the IPO currently is the fact that there should be multiple products available of the same SKU,
Yep.
because then it makes it a lot more compelling because the likelihood of actually getting that product is higher. If there's one, obviously that drives the price way up, but the opportunity to actually get hold of it is significantly diminished.
Oh, yes. So what does this signal for StockX, and what does it mean for the secondary market as a whole?
So I think what it signals for StockX is that this is just part one. I think we've had incredible feedback. There's been a huge amount of bids. The traction on social media has been incredible. And so we know that we're already onto something. And so I think the future of this for us is that traditionally we're a resale marketplace, like where people are buying and selling products that have been sold previously before or bought previously before at retail. This is actually a way that we can launch products to market exclusively, and it's almost a straight to retail play instead of a resale play. And so the ability for other brands to see this, many of whom we're already talking to, who say, well, I saw the value that you did of that, and we love the fact that you can democratize this model. If we were to do something exclusive with you around the same thing, is this something we can apply to? And I definitely think it is. So it's definitely going to be the way that we bring new, more interesting exclusive products to market in the future. and I think it will probably make the rest of the resale market pay attention.
Yeah.
And much like the StockX model has before, which I think is really exciting, is that traditionally, like I said before, resale has been prices just hiked up with no concept of the actual value. We came in and said, well, actually, that's not fair. Let's make it more fair, and the model's applied here. And the same thing goes for this Benbola IPO today. It's all around people around the world being able to get access to something for a fair price.
Is this IPO tomorrow the first one, or have you had ones before?
We did an equivalent last year with LeBron.
Oh, wow.
And so we did it was much smaller, but it was basically his first retro that he did exclusively on StockX, and it was in this incredible packaging taken from the Cavs court with the shoes inside of it. And we did something like that, but it was a much smaller quantity.
So the IPO stuff, will that be primarily, that won't be resale, that'll be new releases?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and that will be the future of the business. Obviously, we have the bread and butter of the resale marketplace now, and keeping that humming along, but this will be the future as we think about how do we really grow the brand, how do we work with bigger brands, how do we do innovative things like this that make it slightly different in the future.
Now the IPO is going on. It started yesterday. It
Yep.
ends tomorrow.
Ends tomorrow at midnight.
So if you want these, go on
If
and
you want
start
these,
bidding, right?
go to StockX.com. If you don't already have an account, sign up for an account, find your size, choose the color you want, black or red, place your bid, and then sit back and wait, and hopefully you'll be the winner of a pair of slides.
And worst case scenario, if you have a winning bid, you pay exactly what you bid.
Yep.
Best case is you pay less. You get
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. So you're paying exactly what you bid or less, and that's it.
It sounds like it's a fun way to all of a sudden shop. I mean,
It is.
That's what I'm kind of getting here.
It's a great way of shopping. It's new and innovative. I think the one thing that we've been paying particular attention to is that this has never, ever been done before.
Right.
And so educating the consumer around why this is an interesting model for them, how to then actually go about doing it. You know, blind Dutch auction is not something that is in your day-to-day life. And so just educating people, maybe that's a confusing term, but this is the actual mechanic as to how it works, is incredibly simple. So just continuing to educate people around that as well.
And blind Dutch auction. So you're
Exactly.
saying, if you didn't catch that, blind Dutch
auction. Yes.
look it up. Well, thank you so much.
Of course,
and
thank you
if
for having
we
me.
want the slips, get on and start bidding.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.